Everyone, and welcome to Moonride. This is Dave Johnson, and I'm channeling Man and the Moon. I am really excited about the January 6th commission. Who would have thought that it's actually working out, that they're actually prosecuting people? I do want to see how far this is going to go. And again, we'll check on Trump, right, and see if he's going to go to jail. All right. Okay. I get a really good feeling that Liz and the Ratzinger fellow, Liz Cheney and Ratzinger, know exactly what they're doing. It's like they're playing I don't remember the board game Risk. It's like they've got this game, and they're like at other sides of the board, and they're like, okay, and they're playing out all their moves, but they're like extremely confident about what they do. And it's kind of interesting. Ratzinger looks more like, yeah, Liz kind of looks a little bit saddened by the whole process. She's kind of, you know, disillusioned with her party. And, but, you feel like she does know what she has to do. So, what's next, you guys? Jim Jordan's next. And it's looks like a big event. Jim Jordan's really yelling. I do think Jim Jordan's going to be in very serious trouble. I think Jim Jordan will go to jail. Hmm. What else? What's next in the commission? There's a ton of people, and that's one thing that makes this kind of hard to read on. There are so many people, and we always had this problem before where we could never get, Republicans to testify, and we'd always have to go through 12 subpoenas and all these things. Well, this time there are enough people who are there to tell the truth, enough people who are shocked by the attempt to overturn the government, that they don't need the Republicans. They already have enough people. So when they're going to these guys, they're saying, hey, look, 12 people already testified about this, so you better tell the truth. And so this is different. This time there is just an abundance of evidence. And when they're asking these guys questions, they know what to ask because they already know the answers. They already know what happened. They know, for example, that there were different slates of electors. They've known that for 6 months. It's only now that they're starting to confront them. Those electors, and there are people who pretended to be electors. They signed documents that said them, which is forgery. So it's an easy crime to prosecute. Now, not all of them wrote it down, so they may not go to jail. But keep in mind, again, those people who didn't do the signing are compelled to testify, and they are compelled to show that they didn't do something, which implicates those who did. So there's so many people involved in this that they will get the truth because they are compelled to tell the truth. There's seems to be quite a hearing regarding those people who put themselves up as electors. And I'm not sure exactly what happens to them. I get like people giving state's evidence. So in order that they not be prosecuted, they're going to tell the truth about who sent them there, right? So they will be, perhaps ruined politically. Keep in mind that has impacts for those who refused to be the electors, those Republicans, and for those who would do it, because those who refused have to face the Trump supporters. And this is, again, going to be really divisive for the party, the Republican Party. Anybody who's paying attention is going to be really upset about this. So there's a lot more motivation now for those who oppose the Republican Party. Uh, a bit of unity there. Yeah, it's like they're at a big round table and big decisions are being made here. Liz Cheney's really put her foot down. All right. So, are there other people? I'm seeing a lot of Republicans who are on the more conservative side, but historically conservative. The ones that we all know, like McConnell and Trent Lott. They are in an incredibly difficult position here. They have to get rid of these people because they really are criminals. So, they don't want them around and they have to kind of participate in the prosecution, but they can't look like they're participating in the prosecution. So it's, again, do not underestimate what's going on here. It's really going to divide the Republican Party and cause them tons of problems. You either going to have to go for the law, or you're going to have to go for Trump. So there's going to be a constant battle between those two parties, or should I say, within the single party. It will be a constant battle. Let's just ask, what are the Democrats going to do? Because right now it doesn't look like they're able to do anything. I personally, blame Joe Manchin and Kristen Sinema for this. Something else is afoot. So consider Russia. This might give Biden a rudder. One thing about Americans is they will unite against a common enemy. COVID wasn't good enough. It doesn't have a face, but Russia does. So all of the people who worked with Russia are going to be scrutinized again. It's a question of national security, and they will be on the defensive if Russia tries to do anything. And this may lead to finding out more records about Trump and Russia and revealing that relationship and what came about there. So is this going to reflect? Are we going to get more information on 2016? Yes. There's 2016 information about that election that we don't know about. We know what information. What's in that? What's in 2016 paperwork? A lot of extremely complicated maneuvers. There are a bunch of things that we know nothing about in regard to 2016. Yeah, really some high level corruption going on there. Some of this might be legal corruption, but maybe not. I think some of it might have been illegal. So what kind of corruption? I keep seeing the British guy, Nigel Farage, and he keeps looking over his shoulder. I don't know what that has to do with the United States, but I know that Nigel is the British version of Trump, or something like the British version of Trump. He keeps looking over his shoulder, keeps not wanting me to see what he's doing. So tell us more about you, Nigel. It's there's some writings. I'm not sure if we're going to get this information very soon, but he did some writing. Something that he's written down has to do with our election. So one more question, and that is, what does this all mean for us? Look at how Liz Cheney changed her mind. That's what it has to do with us. Um, there are some minds that can be changed, and that's one thing that we need to do is change minds. Many people will not change their minds. So sort of a situation. The situation evolved such that even people who were pretty conservative said, okay, enough. That's one thing. It's important that the next generation watches what we do, and they are watching. It will make a big difference in their lives and how they proceed when all this information comes out. Uh, Young people don't, necessarily, hate minorities the way that, some older conservative people, have issues with them. So they're watching carefully. It's amazing that Liz Cheney is just so kind of calm here. She really has sort of achieved a certain wisdom that I never would have believed could have happened. So that might be a metaphor for all of us. All of us are achieving a certain wisdom that we could never have achieved without these crises. So it isn't for nothing. Oh, and my final question, of course, is Trump. I often see him in jail. I often see him try to escape. Again, he's getting in a plane. Yeah, he's getting in a plane again. He seems like he's trying to leave. I think there is so much information in the docket there. There's so much information about him and Russia that he truly is afraid. I see him getting on a plane and it's got like a ladder, which is weird. I mean, it's not a stairs, it's a ladder. But something's gone wrong. He like the ladders falls out from under him. Right. So maybe there's even an attempt to leave, which is thwarted before he gets off the ground. It's crazy. I always see this plane, although this plane does look different from the others. It seems like symbolic, and it does seem like maybe he's like trying to get away and go to the Middle East. You guys notice as Saudi Arabia is on his team, and he's on their team. He did everything to baby them, and right now Saudi Arabia is raising gas prices through the roof to sabotage Biden, right? Uh, this is a you know, total relationship between Trump and Saudi Arabia. Although I'm not so sure they want Trump. So Spirit will Trump go to jail? I'm still getting a yes on that one. Thanks so much for watching.